everyone, I'm Hina. I'm a psychologist and a psychotherapist, and I warmly welcome you to my channel Deep Healing Center Self Directed Healing. As you have liked my previous videos, my episode 1 and episode 2 on relationships and how these relationships are and how to improve these relationships, what are some relationships that need to go, that we need to let go, and skills on how to get to improve our relationship patterns. So as I promised, I will bring a video on the self-directed healing skills. I have created with a lot of passion this video on healing work. So firstly, we'll be talking about what is healing work. Okay, there are parts in me that are hurting and aching and that need attention, and I value how to give myself comfort and value and self-care, and how to hold my cradle of love and kindness. So this is invitation to a lifestyle. It's not something we can just be done and get rid of it then. It's an invitation to lifestyle, and you'll be on path to personal integrity. Healing work is not it's not about something that we can say that I'm a healed person now. That it's an ongoing work, and it's showing fullness of yours and staying grounded in integrity of what you know is possible, of the type of human being you are growing into, and include relationships you are creating, and also the relationships you are offering to other people, relationships that you want in life. This is all part of the healing work. This is cultivating skill where people can be vulnerable to you. How do you offer uh, being in that relationship? How will you take the vulnerability that is being given to you? So it is said that one should seek healing work the way a person whose hair is on fire seeks the pond. We should This is a metaphor that just imagine that you are in this relationship, and we normally think that things are going on, and we are busy, and we I have my this class to do, and I have to do my laundry, I have two jobs, all of that, and you're not really concentrating on your relationship. But I want you to come to a point where you consider this metaphor, where you think that your hair is on fire. You're really not addressing what needs to be addressed, which is this relationship. So I am assuming that you have been around the suffering block from quite a time now, and you have been in the stew and brew of this relationship. You've totally you've been brewed in this relationship. So there is an urgency because your hair is on fire, and there's been a consistent belittling sense of worth. Your childhood attachment training trauma is in your body, and it's seated in your nervous system, and so we can tolerate being treated poorly. We ignore self-care, and we engage in self-neglect. If you've done this many times, then you can equate it to your hair being on fire, and you really need to seek out self-care and compassion for yourself. Seek it as if your hair is on fire. So we have built tolerance to normacy, to sit in this fire. Our tolerance level has been increased to a level that it should not be increased up to. Healing work is important for one's life. What do you need to do next? Now that you know, let's suppose that you know that your hair is on fire and you want to do healing work. So, healing work, what do I do next? This is something that you need to ask, that will bring you one step closer to self care, strengthening your sense of worth, and defining how you can be in a relationship in an adult way. You need to learn some concrete skills, and we need to step up in taking step. What is self-directed healing for you? What areas you want to focus on, and how you plan to get there? If someone feels stuck, this is for them. If somebody has been in ongoing internal battle and feels stuck, this episode will really help them. So in order to get to engage yourself from this stew of relationship, you need to learn some skills, engage yourself into building those concrete skills. So our nervous system on edge, and we have a lot of drama, as the relationship is most probably the reason for this drama. People say that I am sick and tired of this relationship. What do I do? There is confusion. We need the direction to change. We need the direction to change. We can be thinking for this, what do I do to change this relationship, for like 3-4 years. So sadly, people think, what do I do, and they stay with this feeling for so long, because we as human being, we want a direction. We want a proper step-by-step guide to what can be done for our healing work. How can we change this toxic relating patterns, or how can we move out of this toxic relationship? What have you done on your healing work? You need to sit down and ask yourself, uh, if ask yourself, what have you done for your healing work? So your answer, if your answer is, I'm working on my grief, I'm working on my boundaries, I'm working on shame, I'm working on relationship to self-care, I'm working on my relationship to family partner relationship, then yes, you are actually working on your healing work. But if you're working on things, other things, that and you're not working on important things like these things, then these other things are empty efforts. And we need to come to the fact that we need to feel that our hair is on fire, and we have an urgency to deal with this fire. Now, people say that yes, they are ready. uh, People are ready, but the question is, ready for the healing work? Yes, mostly people would say that yes, I really want to do my healing work. But healing work, but what are they ready for? They really need to get into themselves and check, what are they ready for? What kind of a healing work are they healing work are they expecting? They should be ready for some serious work. This is going to be some serious work that demands your efforts. Are we going to put in that effort in that healing work. So so actually it's going to be effort, because you can just imagine it's the fire in your hair that needs to be addressed. So also it's so much of effort because you are mirroring your attachment wounds now. You have integrated that approach of being you, and you treat yourself the same way by denying yourself. You have been in this relationship for a long time, and this childhood neglect and all of that childhood trauma, attachment trauma, has come in, and now you are fulfilling that trauma yourself by your hands now. You need to stand in front of the mirror and say, self, what do you need? You need to say that in a serious way, because it's a crushing suffering that we are talking about. It's a crushing suffering that's shutting us down as a person, blinds us to identity of partner if they are not capable of love. This is serious. This is serious, and we need to see, and we need to actually address this effort in a very, very serious way. You have really abandoned yourself if you are continuing in this toxic relating, or you are continuing with the same patterns. Then you have really abandoned yourself, and you continue to do what you are doing. You will say you're trying. This is where you need discipline. You need empathy for yourself to move things forward. Be honest with yourself. Your try is a complete denial. You need to have this try. In order to have a reality check, you need to sit with yourself and see what your tries have done till now. Has it done what you intended your try to do for you? If it's done, then maybe, but I would really doubt that the efforts that have been going on were actually feeding the same denial pattern, and you have been reinforcing denial. So what I'm trying to get onto is that healing work is the work that needs focus, that needs our dedication, and that needs proper programming, proper direction, our commitment, our empathy towards ourselves. So for that we need a plan. For this plan, I will be talking about three things, that is self-directed healing as a goal, number one. Number two is clarity to focus on to focus your self-directed healing, and the third one is picking up your concrete name of the plan. So the first one is that you pick your commitment and frequency of your participation. Confront change and challenge yourself. All this can create paralysis in the brain. If you have too many choices, it sort of creates paralysis in your brain. So therefore you need to pick the commitment that you will doing for this self-directed healing. We are talking about what is it mean to be a human being with a mind that reflects on himself, who desires for connections, trust, safety, closeness, emotional closeness, in order to thrive in this world. So, what are these obstacles that get way to do all of these? These few points will make you understand what is lacking in your relationship and will bring some clarity in the goal that you're trying to attain. So, not go down with the, so do not let the obstacles make you go down. with your actions. So the second step is but what will I do, what I want to focus on. Direction and plan is important. People are exhausted by relational drainage. That this all might sound a lot of work. Pick and focus on obsessive thinking. How you can imagine talking to person who is not even there in relationship. You are preoccupied and obsessive thinking on person with whom your relationship has ended long time ago. You're finding fantasies and trauma symptoms where you think how you one day you will be going along with this person. This is all dysfunctional. This relationship has ended long time ago. That's something you can pick and focus on. Work on this. Can you I need to work on my obsessive thinking, which keeps on making me feel that this relationship is going to work. So this is the kind of focus that I'm talking about. Once you pick, what will you do then? Once you've picked that, so first was picking up a goal that I want to work on my relationship, and on being on emotional closeness, connections, trust, safety, all of that. Thrive to be in this world, all of that. And then uh, the second step is to pick on to what is direction and plan for that goal, for that closeness, for that kind of good relating. And that is, for example, if you have obsessive thinking and you think that this person, we will if your relationship has ended long time back and you still expect that your relationship is going to get better now, then that means you really need to focus on your direction. In the second step is focus on your obsessive thinking, your preoccupied attachment style, that needs to be addressed here. So in the second step you have really directed a plan towards this obsessive thinking, which is towards a goal that is a goal of safety, closeness, connection, trust, emotional relating, closeness, in order to thrive in this world. Okay, so once you've done that, once you pick what you will do, then what? So then, tools on how to work on your pick. Yeah, so you will have some like serious kind of work on done that. What, how are you going to work with that obsessive thinking? What are the steps? So you will have some handouts on that, and you will really get into practical efforts in working for the example I gave you about obsessive thinking. So this is like a simple plan in that I have illustrated on how to deal with you, how to go step by step with your healing work. Now, this healing work is not a clinical work. It's not. It's something. It's like a lifestyle. It's an ongoing work. So, for example, I cannot say I'm a healed person due to my passion towards my studies and all that. Sometimes I miss my important class that I want to really take from such a long time. So I keep on missing that. I can't say I'm a healed person. We are all in the same boat, and this is a lifestyle. uh, this is how we need to, we not addressing old patterns and not searching ourselves and not identifying boundaries and discipline around these boundaries. We do this we will talk about three things. focus and mapping out plan of self-directed healing, not only saying I'm ready but committing to frequency, naming it, and identifying resources to get there. Structure helps us from not getting overwhelmed by our choices, and it also helps us from staying stuck. We would counter our not beginning, our passivity, our laziness. Sometimes we give up on ourselves and sometimes we are lazy. Give yourself reasonable amount of work that you can really digest it. Give that kind of a work. This plan can help us inertia our habitual routine. So the important is, how do I allow myself to stay centered, grounded, open, present in relationships, uh, and to relate in love and offer love to initiate, or and also even initiate love. It's a long process. Experiences of new relating can actually rewire our brain. New corrective experiences of trust and safety can actually help us rewire our brain. Healing does not happen in isolation. We really need to engage in relating, and to engage in relating we really need to first help ourselves into getting ourselves out of this toxic relating and these toxic relationships also. Or we need to get, either we get ourselves out of these toxic relationships, or we improve our relationships with proper efforts, with proper plan. So, today's episode was all about healing. I hope you liked my episode, and the next session I will be bringing more of healing techniques and how you can actually make your healing as your lifestyle. Thank you.